Reached chapter 25 of the Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish. Let's have a spoiler talk. I am only halfway through this book, but so far I actually genuinely really like it. It's kind of cute. Prince Jing, who is this guy right here, is the 5th prince of this emperor. There are, so far from what I can tell, multiple princes, like at most 6 that are actually in line for the throne. But Prince Jing here is special because he's actually the son of the emperor's actual wife, the queen, who unfortunately passed due to her health. Now, I do think there is a little bit of a suspicious thing going on here because prior to Prince Jing being born, the queen had other kids who all just got sick at a very young age and passed. And the only one to survive was the one who was disabled. And by disabled, I mean he can't talk. He's mute. He can still hear and he can write and read. He's not dumb. He's actually very smart. Like the rest of the people, like the concubines and their sons, are all just like, oh, he's mute. He can't do anything. So like, ironically, because apparently in the original plot of this said novel, he ascends the throne, but by brute force, because he has anger issues. To basically change his way of personality, I guess, the system brings in our boy Li Yu, the little carp fish over here, and tasks him with 2 things. The first thing is you gotta become the prince's like beloved pet fish. He doesn't like animals, he doesn't like other people, he barely tolerates his servants, so like you gotta make him likable. His personality is very questionable. Granted, he does not lie, he does not fuck around. Like if his brothers were messing with him growing up, apparently he would beat their ass. And he would tell his dad the truth because the dad would be like, why are you fighting your brothers? And he's like, they were mean to me, they were bullies, and I just beat their ass because they deserved it. He's that type of person. And majority of all the concubines and the other princes don't really like him because the emperor has a soft spot for him because he's like, he looks like his mom. And, you know, the only thing of his dad he has is his eyes. So he has a soft spot for this specific son, which pisses all the others off. So yeah, there's political things going around here. There's games being pulled. Very poorly done political games if I've ever seen them in a Dame series in my entire life. Like if you read Grandmaster of Dramatic Cultivation and those political games, this is child's play. Like I could do a better job at pulling strings in this fucking royal family than anybody else. But that's a good thing. The reason why this is a good thing is because our boy Li Yu needs all the fucking help he can get. He literally just got put into this book. Like, he didn't insult the author or nothing. He read the whole thing and then went to bed and then woke up as an ingredient for a soup. So obviously he didn't want to be soup. So he jumped down and like got carried away by a fat cat. And the prince saw him eventually and saved him and helped him and stuff like that. And that's when the system was like, hey, you need to make him like you because he is your ticket to Humanville. Because if you make him likable, I'll turn you human again. So that's the whole mission of this thing. While he's doing all of this, obviously, he knows what's supposed to happen. So he knows all the people, like, they're backstabbing motherfuckers. So he actually really has a soft spot for the prince because he knows the prince because he read the book. And he's like, he's actually, like, a really nice person. He has an anger issue because since you guys won't let him talk most of the time because there was a little bit of a trial thing going on when they first like got introduced, and you know he saved the fish from a cat and the cat was the bitch's fucking pet cat, and that was the whole thing. It fucking ridiculous. What I mean by not letting him talk is that he has a servant who I called Old Man Wang, and he essentially is the princess voice. He can read him like an actual fucking book, and just by him sighing or even just looking to the side, he can tell what the prince is actually thinking and tell them. It goes to show you how much of a bitch this concubine was. And honestly, his dad is an idiot. The reason why they're all still fighting for the throne, even though he's like the 5th prince, is because his dad doesn't believe in the age order thing. He just wants someone to be a good king and emperor and someone that will actually get along with Prince Jing. So far, none of his sons fit the bill. I'm fucking lucky that Prince Jing just ascended the throne by pure force at all. Just because he can't fucking talk with his own voice, they think they can take over the crown. It's ridiculous. The thing that the royal family is kind of stupid because Li Yu is going to need all the help that he can. And the system is sort of on his side because I feel like the system is trying to make him and the prince fall in love because some of the missions to become human are just straight up flirting. I mean, 2 of the missions were taking a bath together and then sharing a bed together. The bed one was actually kind of funny because someone sent an assassin to off Prince Jing And it was the stupidest plan ever. Everyone knows this boy is cold and heartless and doesn't give a fuck about anybody. The most emotion he's shown is to a fucking fish. And it isn't even a koi fish. His dad tried to give him a koi fish when he found out that he likes fishes. And he just took the tank away from the koi fish and sent them back, which was hilariously funny. So someone, I don't know who yet, but I have a feeling, sent an assassin to Prince Jing. Basically, it was some lady who's pretty. She was partially dressed scandally. She snuck into his room, which means someone in the palace is definitely working with him, or her, or I feel like it's the second prince in the concubine, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, they let him into his room, which is rule number 1. No one is allowed into his room. The only ones allowed into his room is the prince, Old Man Yang, and the fish. That's right. The fish is above everybody else. And he sneaks into the prince's room. And at this point, Prince Jing knows that his fish is not normal. So he leaves like little bowls of water all over the floor so that the fish can walk himself. Because that's normal. Apparently he's smart. I swear. He just accepts things that his pet fish could. He just thinks his fish is very intelligent. Which is, sure, let's go with that. The stupid assassin sneaks into her room and she thinks she's going to seduce this man. Note that this man, in the original plotline, fell in love with another man, so he clearly does not give no fucks about any women, so the fact that she thought she was going to succeed was just plain stupid. And this is what I mean, like, he's cold-hearted. He didn't even give her a chance to monologue, which is what she was gonna explain that she was sent here by blah blah blah. We didn't get that because he offed her. Like, he put his hands on her cheek, and she thought that she was gonna seduce him, and she's like, oh, do you like me? Stabbed right through the chest. No hesitation. The poor little fish was just like, oh my god, that was right in front of me. I mean, only time he showed emotion and cared about what he just did, like, he literally offed somebody in his bed, there was blood everywhere, is that his pet fish didn't want to look at him. So he got rid of the evidence on the body and cleaned everything so that he was clean for his pet fish, so that he would acknowledge him. He only cares about the fish. Which is why the system probably is like, okay, so his original lover will definitely hurt him and it won't work. So I'm going to make you be his lover instead. Because one of the things that he gets for like completing his missions is slowly getting time to be human. Like the first time he got it for 2 hours and that was like a one-time transformation thing. And then the next time he could be human for 1 hour every single day. But very sparingly. His system really is encouraging Liu to change the plot. He literally has been told, do whatever you want. He's still going to become emperor at the end of the day. Just do whatever. It won't really matter too much. You can tell that Prince Jing fell in love with Liu during the time that he was human for 2 hours. That was also a weird conversation to have because they thought he was a thief because his fish was missing. And they also found out that he stole his underwear because he was butt naked when he became human again. So that was a weird thing to go through. But yeah, so Prince Jing has actually seen Liu's human face, just like slightly altered with longer hair. I can tell that he kind of fell in love with him at first sight because apparently he was supposed to fall in love at first sight with a dancer, and that didn't work. He made a poster of Liu's face, and like it was very like you could tell that he took very care with how he drew him and like his smile and everything, because Liu for some reason gave him a little grin as he jumped out the window. Why, I will never know, but he basically did that also mainly because it was a wanted poster. Like the funniest wanted photos to ever. But I really hope that Prince Jing sees Liu again and like they have more conversation. Just hopefully Prince Jing doesn't shoot first, ask later. So that's it so far. Bye. Okay, so I just got done with the disabled tyrant's beloved pet fish. And let me tell you, why are we finally getting them face to face in human form and having a fucking cliffhanger? Don't even get me started on the fact that the prince had like a two-way mirror put in his room so that he could watch Liu change. And I mean like change into a human. It was a bonus that he got to watch him change into his clothing. So yeah, because no, the prince is down bad, like 100%. Like he is so infatuated with Liu that he starts to spoil him by putting like snacks and everything around him, because he was like, you like these pastries? I'll get you as many pastries as you want. You want clothes that fit? I will get you custom made clothes. I will do whatever just so that you spend time with me. Like he literally just starts leaving his room alone, and then he realizes it. I was like, oh, I guess a carp spirit can only turn human like once a day for 2 hours. That's really sad. But, like, it's so cute almost. But I really wanted them to spend more time together, like, as people, like Li Yu being a human and not his fish. It left me on a cliffhanger. Of course it did. This is 400 pages and it left me on a cliffhanger. And the second book doesn't come out until August 6th. And I am like, why? I know what I'm asking for my birthday though. That book. I want that for my birthday and I'm going to get it for my birthday. It comes out before my birthday. So that's good for me. I did have to say one like downside to this series right now is it could be the translation or however the author wrote it in the original Chinese version, but there is a lot of telling me things and repeating telling me things than actually showing me things, and I don't really like that in books where they just tell you what the person's feeling and what their ideas are like straight off the bat. Like clearly this is sort of like a third person, but we focus mostly on the prince and Li Yu, but then we just randomly jump to other people's thoughts and like feelings and thing. Also, tell me why all of a sudden the second prince has a wife. It was mentioned in the book later on that he has a wife, which is like, then why was he flirting with the princess that the duke's son was getting like betrothed to? Like what was that about? His wife, like what the fuck? Still enjoyed this book. I obviously picked it solely because this is a ridiculous plot about a fish and a prince. It's still fun after the heartbreak that was Heaven Official's Blessing. I've mentioned this before. So it has its downsides, but it's also really cute and really funny. And I really do like the relationship that Li Yu and the prince have. Because again, the prince is down bad. Like there's literally a scene where they're in the main palace and that concubine bitch is pretending to burn her. She is not that smart when it comes to political games. Again, I could do better, but I don't want to. So yeah, he's changing his clothes and so this scene is just so ridiculous. Once Li Yu finds out that Prince Jing is just changing his clothes, he's like, oh, I've been busted, because he like pressed his face to the glass to see what he was doing, and then the prince noticed that that's what's going on. So the fish was like, I didn't see nothing. I'm doing nothing. Prince Jing forcefully grabs him and faces him and gets undressed in front of him. All purpose, he was smirking the entire time. I was just like, the unhinged behavior. What the fuck is this? But yeah, that's the sort of thing you can expect from him. Prince Jing is 100% down bad. He is a tyrant in name only, because he is what I would consider a tsundere until he meets that one person that he really likes and really trusts. And like, even like, he knows that Li Yu as his pet fish was probably the one person that was like the most sincere with him, that didn't work for him and wasn't forced to be nice to him like his brothers. So he really likes that. Also, I'm really glad that Li Yu is the love interest in this book, because originally in the original plot line that Li Yu read, our homeboy prince over here goes through heartbreak and angst, and he was like, I don't want him to suffer. He's a really good person. So the system was like, you're the new one. He falls in love with you. He's a good lover. Good luck. We just got to make sure that you stop turning into a fish every 2 hours after your daily transformation. So yeah, that's it. I honestly highly recommend it. It's really cute. It doesn't really do drama. There's a little bit sprinkled here and there, but it's mostly just Prince and Li Yu and them just going through life, basically. And it's really cute. And I cannot wait for the second book, because the fact that you left me on a cliffhanger, and I hope that they finally start actually, connecting as people and not person and fish. So yeah. Anyway, bye.